Hello, Weasel here. Many of you know I've got these security cameras, but this one here on the side porch, I've never been happy with the way I've had the AV ran, well actually not AV, power and video ran to it. I just ran it up this channel here and through a vent. Well now, I had some time today. Thank you to my boss for letting me off work a little bit early. But I had this old Cat 5 cable. Actually from work, I ripped it out to replace it with some Cat 6. Yeah, it's kind of, and because we had to relocate this, and so I ripped it out. I could have it, so I brought it home with this thought purpose in mind. I ran that one for the camera and this one for future expansion. And what I did is I drilled a hole there and ran a little bit of blue plastic flexible conduit. And you can see I've also got a third wire. That is 16.2 in-wall rated speaker wire. Yep, I'm gonna put speakers out here while I'm at it. But you can see to keep bugs out, I caulked all around it and shoved the paper towel into the conduit and put caulk in there to keep the, keep bugs out. So I still got to do some work. And then over here, I've got a lot more pulled down. You'll be able to see it better. You can see I have found quite a few wasp nets up in here, but you can see a little better where I caulked all around it and, shoved the paper towel in and then, more caulk. It's kind of messy, but it should do the job. And then right now I just got the speakers kind of sitting up on the roof. And I'm not playing them for reasons I don't think I have to talk about. So I'm going to go through, and I just got that caulked up, but not a caulk up. Anyway, I've got some bracketry I'm going to put on those speakers and get them mounted where hopefully I think will be the best spot. Oh, here's a quickie little update. Got the wire hanging out there and over there. But I got the idea to spray. These are just regular reinforcing angle brackets I got at the hardware store. They're rated for outdoor use, but I decided to paint them white so they'd look a little bit better against the white speakers. So far this project has cost me $30, and that doesn't include the wire or the speakers. The wire was just some leftover, in fact there's a box right there, monoprice speaker wire from another project, and the speakers were some indoor-outdoor KLHs that I picked up for $1 for the pair at a local thrift shop several years ago. See, I've given all the screws and these washers a quick once over with a spray paint. Got them in front of this fan, which doesn't have a front grill at the moment. I've got the front grill. The reason it's running without a grill is a long story I'm not going to go into in this video, but it's going to be getting that grill back very soon. Then as stated, there's the other wire hanging down. I don't quite have it in the right spot. Oh crud, there's a wasp. And it looks like I didn't quite get that soffit siding in quite right. So when I get up on the ladder to actually mount the speaker, I will see if I can fix that then. So anyway, I don't think I can do much else because this stuff is going to take forever to dry. I'm probably going to just have to leave all this out all night. It's breezy. I really don't need the fan, but I was actually having some trouble with that fan, so I just wanted to let it run for a while outside. So this was a good opportunity to let it just run for a while, and I think it's coming back into good health. But that's not a story for today. And let me tell you, you don't want to know how many wasp nets I got out of that soffit. That was not fun, but they're all gone, and I think all but a couple of them were old anyway. I think only 1 or 2 of them were actually active. But here's my camera up there, and you can't even see thanks to the sun. There's the rear end, kind of goes up above goes in, and like I said, it's just running over Cat 5 with the adapters. So anyway, these gutters are looking pretty bad, but I'm getting new gutters here pretty soon anyway. Looky there. Here we go. They're working. Now I still gotta clean up the table and get a few things put away, but they are working, which is awesome. I've got them turned up a fair bit louder than I normally would, but they cover the porch and they project out into the yard, actually a bit further than I'd like. I might have to kind of point them down a little bit more. Alright, I'm gonna tell you the lighting stinks right here, but I'm just using, one of my favorite weapons. LaPi 2020, and I'm running. The LaPi gets a signal from my this lighting stinks. From this Yamaha RX V661, the Zone 2 output. So I can actually so I've changed my regular music. I've changed to the radio here, but the computer is still playing. So let's change. So that's how that project worked out, and you can see when I redid the sheetrock, I ran conduit in the boxes for future projects just like this. So I just ran the wiring down the conduit. So I was trying to figure out how much this project cost to put the speakers on the outdoor porch. Let's see if I got those in frame. Yep, got one in frame. Let's see here. I spent about $27 at the hardware store. Now, just under $10 of that was for 2 cans of wasp spray, because I knew I had some wasps along here and I wanted to be ready. So really we're down to about $17. About 7 of that was what I spent at the hardware store was for some 2-part epoxy, because one of the speakers had they've got brass inserts where you mount them to the brackets. One of those that come loose, and it was loose in the speaker. So that's $7, and I can use that epoxy for other projects. Though, in hindsight, I probably could have used some super glue I already had. In fact, I had to use super glue on one of them because the not piezo tweeter, the solid state, the fake tweeter, we'll just call it that, broke loose. I had that speaker right there sitting up on the roof. I was just playing both speakers sitting on the roof before I mounted them to get an idea how well they covered. If I had to do it over again, I'd have both speakers above the respective windows, but I cut that wire just a little bit too short. And I did that because I knew I was using leftover wire, and it was questionable if I had enough, and as it turned out I had plenty left over. But anyway, I'm happy with them where they're mounted, and in some ways I'm kind of glad it ended up that way. But anyway, you can see they've got 3 drivers, a 4-inch woofer, a little 1-inch mid-range, and a 3/4-inch tweeter. That mid-range is crossed over by a single capacitor. So it's basically wired as a 2-way system with a super tweeter that does nothing. That one, the tweeter, is broken and is held in with super glue just to seal up the enclosure, and you can't tell the difference. But of course, thanks to a video V Westlife did several years ago, we already know those little flat metal tweeters, whatever you call them, buzzers, whatever, really don't do much. And I've referenced that before. So really, this came out to be a pretty cheap project. So I'm happy, and what brought this on was I got tired of having to drag out a boombox every time I wanted to have some music out here. This way I just have to push a couple buttons on my home theater receiver and I have sound. So that works.
principal.